Hello. I am just getting my camera here ready to go. I have two screens, and then for some reason on YouTube, the screen never works, the bigger one. All right, welcome to the Spiritual Warrior channel. Today, we are going to be talking about past lives and are past lives real? Now, if you're watching the Spiritual Warrior channel, most likely you believe in past lives. You believe that our life is continuous, our soul is continuous, that there is no birth and there is no death. So with that, let's talk about past lives and why they're important. And are they real? I fully believe that we don't die. I fully believe that our soul just continues on. Like I said, there's no birth and there's no death. Now, we could go into another video and talk about the birth of souls, but we're not talking about that one. We're talking about a soul that is continuous. And most likely, you have many past lives, and they may not all be human past lives. They may be in other dimensions, other species, but many of us that are here as a human being, it's pretty rare in my experience and in taking thousands and thousands of people through hypnotic regressions where they have not been human a few times. There is that rare occasion where sometimes you meet someone and they're like this authentic starseed, and this is their first time being human. And oftentimes it can be kind of challenging for them because they want to go home. That's their story. They want to go home, but they're learning how to be a human here. So let's talk about the significance of past lives. The thing with past lives is that when we're born, we talk about Christianity talks about the original sin. I don't believe that we're born with original sin. That's just me. What I believe in is that we're born with karma. We come in here, not karma doesn't mean bad, right? We think of karma like eye for an eye, tooth for tooth is not bad. Karma is not bad. There's bad karma and there's good karma, but it's not all bad. Karma is what we put out there in the world is what we get back. And we come into this world in this life as a blank slate for this life. However, when we're born with karma. We're born with what we're bringing in from another life. Like even if you are an authentic star seed and you came from the Pleiades, or you came from Syria, or you came from the dragon realm, or you are still bringing in an imprint. You're still bringing in. There's so much going on. We use 10% of our brain. Think about that. Like 90% of our brain holds information, has capacity. So we're bringing this imprint in. We're bringing in your codes. We're bringing in your karma. However, this lifetime is brand new in this way, in this body. And oftentimes things get ignited through karmic conversations, through karmic relationships. The parents that you choose, you often have karma with your mom, your dad, your brothers and sisters, and you're here to work all of that out. Here's what I'll say about past lives. Many people want to like go past this life and go and look at their past lives. Like, especially if something keeps coming up and they don't understand it, it's like, I don't know where this comes from. Could it be a past life? I don't know where this behavior comes from. I don't know where this addiction comes from. I don't know where this pattern comes from. Could it be from a past life? It absolutely could be from a past life. This body pain, this things that I'm holding, could it be? Absolutely. But here's what I'd love to say. Like I said earlier, I've taken thousands, I was going to say 100, but probably thousands of people through regression therapy over the 20 years I've been doing this. And this is what I'll say. We've got to look at this life first. Sometimes you're taken to a past life and it's super important, but ideally it's like, let's clean up this life, the life that we're in. Let's look at it and then go back and look at the other lives. That would be ideal. And so sometimes when you're in a hypnosis session or a transgression session, sometimes the past life, it comes up and it's necessary to look at it then. Now, the story of your past life, like what did you do? Who were you? Where did you live? All of that stuff is very interesting. It's fascinating. It's like picking up the novel of your life. But that's not where the juicy stuff is. That's not where the healing is. The healing is not in the story. The healing is in the energetic pattern. The healing is in the karma. The healing is in like, how does that life bridge to this life? And how are you, if you're taken to a past life and you're looking at, say, a karma of jealousy, right? Let's just say you were born into this life and your mom was jealous of you, or your dad, and then that energy of jealousy continued into adulthood, and somehow you cultivated people being jealous of you, or you were jealous of other people. And there's like, what is this relationship I have with jealousy? Like, what's going on with that? Usually, especially if you come into this world and there's like I'm using jealousy as an example, and there's a jealousy like imprint right away, there's probably something karmic to reach it, to work out there. So let's say you're working with jealousy. We'll use this as an example. And you find the past life through regression, through meditation. All of this is possible. All of this is possible. To find out where you were, what was going on. It's possible through regression. It's possible through the shamanic journey. It's possible through hypnosis. It's possible. It's all there. It's all in your Akashic records. And here's what I'll say. I'm going to make a side note, caveat note. It's awesome to hear what your past lives are from other people. Like, you could sit across from me right now. I could open your soul and your energy up in the connection to your guides, and I could tell you some past lives. But what's even more powerful is when you go through it and you have someone who knows what they're doing guide you, and you experience it yourself. It's like, it's really, really powerful. So let's say you're dealing with jealousy as this imprint, and you bring the imprint of jealousy into this life in a way where you've somehow co-created jealousy with your mom or something like that, or a sibling. We want to go back, find out the lifetime that jealousy was born, and find out, of course, right there, the story is important. What happened to create jealousy in your being? And then how does that bridge to this lifetime? So, and there might be other lifetimes that happened from the core wounding all the way up to the present, where you got to clean up. You got to clean up that thread, because if you don't, you're just going to keep repeating it, and you're going to incarnate into it again and again and again. And this is what's so fascinating about learning your past lives, is because you have this opportunity to heal the things that you are cycling into again and again and again, and anything else that has been created. Because right now we're all creating new karma. Right now we're all creating new karma. And especially if we're not conscious, especially if we're not moving through the karma, we're creating new karma. So my daughter, creating new karma with her. With my husband, creating new karma with her. And it doesn't mean it's like bad karma. We're just creating karma. So anything in your life that is often on repeat, again, clean up this life first. Look at this one. Look at the root cause of things in this life. We'll use jealousy as an example. Go through, oh, my sibling was jealous. Oh, I get really jealous. Clean it up. Where's the vibration come through? Where does the root cause of that jealousy in this lifetime? Then opening up to the past lives. And when you start cleaning up the big thread, energetic thread of your life, this is where, like, across time and space, this is where profound healing takes place. This is where things that you feel like you couldn't have shaken before, or you just couldn't shift it, profound healing takes place, because you're moving across time and space, and you're getting to the original moment, the original blueprint, the original time it happened, and cleaning it up. It's scrubbing the line. So, and for those of you who I believe we all choose our parents. I believe that there's like different thought forms of that. And sometimes some people think Yeah, you're just placed, and that's where you're most like going to do the most help is in that family. I personally believe we have a little bit more agency than that, we choose because we know we're going to be of most help in that family. Now, there's a whole other thing we could do on a different video about getting kind of swung around in our incarnation process, and often that happens when we haven't worked through things. Like, again, if there's a jealousy thread and you haven't worked through it, you're going to recreate it in this lifetime, and you're going to recreate it in another lifetime until you clean it up. And those of us that are conscious, we know this, so why not do it now? Like, why not do it in this lifetime? Why not clean it up? So let's say you chose parents like I did that were kind of just they were dysfunctional, had mental illness. Then I went from other families that took care of me, that abused me. And I have done a lot of work on this, cleaning up the trauma in this lifetime first. And then I went back to the other ones and was like, what was my soul learning? What was my soul working out that I would choose such deep, deep dysfunction in this life? And it doesn't matter, whatever it is, even if you chose the most cookie cutter, amazing life you could possibly choose, you chose it and your soul is learning something. Because we're all here to learn and nothing is perfect. We know this. Nothing is perfect. You could have parents that love and support you, which I really hope you do, and you're still going to be learning. But going back to using myself as an example, going back to the original core soul injury, soul wounding that brought me all the way here to choose. And I've chosen lifetimes like this again and again and again. I just like there was something that I was continuously working out from the core wounding that happened in my first soul incarnation as a human. That first soul incarnation as a human, because not many of us are implants, many are transplants. Many of us have been human over and over and over again, but we're often not. Like, humans are different. We're like made up of a bunch of different things, and we've chosen to be here to learn. It is one of the biggest, it's like they call it the cosmic learning library, because people come here to learn about contrast, dark, light, all of it. But when we go back to that original human lifetime, there's so much learning in that, because there's often things we just haven't worked out, and you could trace it all the way back to what's going on in this lifetime. And then along the way, you're like, oh, there's where my psychic abilities came from. There's how I learned how to be compassionate. That's where my artist came from. This is all of these things came from this, because we're holding all of those codes. So here's what I'd like to leave you with. Past lives are interesting. They're fascinating. They're real. They really do exist. We don't, other people don't believe this. I truly do. We don't die. There's no birth. There's no death. We just keep going. We keep evolving, and we keep learning. Our soul keeps growing, and all of us are here on human planet Earth. Even if you were a starseed in the last one, in your last incarnation, you're here. I'm pretty sure my daughter was, but she's here and she's rocking it as a human. We got to learn how to be human. We've got to learn that we're here in this life, accepting what's going on in this life, grounding what's going on in this life, and then, of course, getting super curious so we can clean up our karma. But the thing is with past lives, it is about an energetic cleaning the oven, the karmic oven within your being. So you can keep raising your consciousness, you can keep raising your vibration, and hopefully we choose something more elevated, more conscious, more like, a lot of people are like, I can't come back to Earth again. Maybe, I don't know. I would think I wouldn't choose to come back here, but there's so much to learn here. As hard as it is, there's nothing more. There's no other place that I know that's like a fast track to learning, to being a human. But however, if you do come back, and even if you decide to go off and be a Syrian again, or go to the Pleiades, or go to the Octorians, whatever it is where your soul chooses to go, there's going to be learning. But we're not going to be able to elevate that consciousness and move up unless we clean up what's going on. And if you think about it as a thread, think about it as a thread. the timeline across time and space, I heal my relationship to intimacy. Jealousy across time and space, I heal my relationship to explosive anger. Across time and space, I heal all of the wounding where I have allowed people to harm me, where I have been a victim. Across time and space, I heal every time I was a perpetrator, because guess what? We're not always the victim too. Some of us have learned in other lives to be the perpetrator, and there's different levels of perpetrators. So there's my dog. She's like really wants to go chase a lizard. So leaving you with this. Yes, it's important to do past life work. And part of it is like also really understanding your role in this life. So when you go back, you can bridge the two to create profound healing and release anything in your karmic field that needs and gets to be released. Your energetic field, your soul field. And clean up as you go. Clean up as you go. That's what we're here to do. That's what we're here to do. All right, I'm here I switched my time. It was Tuesday, but now I'm coming on Mondays, 11 a.m. Pacific time. And I hope this was supportive for you, and I will see you here next Monday.